Dalen, already? All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for tonight's post-match press conference, joined by us.
Lost it.
All right, sorry about that, mic failure, but we'll go ahead and get straight into questions from media. Whoever would like to start us off.
Yeah, so first shot on goal, 27 seconds into the game, started out aggressive, 20 shots total, 6 shots on goal, none go in. Kind of the story of the season. You want to elaborate on what happened there?
I think you have it. I think you can't win games if you don't score goals. The week is filled with many missed opportunities, and it's frustrating. It's disappointing. I think the performances, again, in Toronto, quite solid. In LAFC, quite solid. Generating very, very good chances, falling to many different players. And, you have to score goals. I mean, the responsibility when we have the ball is on everyone to contribute to score goals and create the goal-scoring chances. But when they fall, when they're created and we get in these situations this often, it's fairly remarkable, to be honest. But again, the guys' effort, energy, attitude, awesome from the beginning. The whole week they did a fantastic job. Again, the games over the course of 3 games, extremely solid performances. I think Toronto expected goal was roughly around expected goal against was maybe around 1. We had 3.5 against LAFC. We kept them right around 1, maybe 1-1. We were right at 1. So tonight again, expected goal 2.5. And again, there's lots of opportunities that we still missed to complete actions in front of goal. But you have to score to win games. And there's plenty of I'm sure there'll be plenty of talk about how it happens, why it happens that we're not able to finish. But ultimately, the guys are there, and we gotta take the opportunities.
I mean, you're obviously aware this puts you on the brink of playoff elimination. Yeah. So just kind of thoughts about there. Where the guys at? What happened like kind of after the match?
Yeah, they're exhausted. It's a busy week. 3 games, as I said. Traveled to Toronto, traveled to LA, came home, and I think currently standing, we're the same amount of points out as we were prior. I think we're 5 points out, I believe, but I'm not sure if that's where that still lies. Yeah, I think it's a rain delay. But again, we have a couple home games and a couple road games, so there's still mathematically the opportunity. We got to win a game. We got to score goals to win games, and we hope that comes in the next game.
Anything you can pinpoint just to the lack of finishing, whether it ranges from bad luck to just not finishing, or is it anything?
I mean, you guys have seen the games. I mean, these are misses of all sorts. Balls are in front of goal, we're missing. The breakaways, we're missing. There's headers inside the 6, we're missing. So it doesn't matter. I mean, to explain it, it's inexplainable. The guys, it's part of what we do. It's what we train. It's what they have done their whole careers. And when the lights are on and the fans are in the stands, you have to perform. And we do all the things other than score the goal. And this is what decides games.
Is there any frustration on the club really has never had a striker, a star striker? I mean, that has to play into it, right? And I know you're not the owner or general manager or whatever, but does that play a factor in it? The club has never had a star striker.
Yeah, I mean, again, these are still very good players that are missing chances. There's you bring someone in that's got more goal scoring opportunity. Again, it's not always falling to the strikers. What I would say, sure, you have a top end striker. You see them in the league. They can certainly give an added edge in front of goal. I mean, when we're creating this many clear opportunities, a 9, a more polished 9 maybe takes them. But Giassi, everybody, Diego, Seba, Alex. Obi, Johnny, they all get chances. It's a responsibility. It's responsibility of the game. It's requirements of the game, and we failed ourselves in finishing. Period. And that's we have 1 goal, and our expected goal is close to 7 plus this week, and that makes it challenging to win a game. So it's disappointing and frustrating, but you can't fault the guys. We work on these things, and in the end, we gotta make the plays that matter.
Yeah, hi, Josh. Just kind of on the strikers, you had Zardes starting tonight. Rubio started the previous match. Like, what's the thinking behind which strikers started each of these matches?
Well, it's just a matter of who's been informed throughout the season. I think Giassi's been in form more of late. I thought Diego did a good job the other night. He didn't have any shots, but he was very connected to the game. So I think Diego's probably more of like a withdrawn striker. He's a guy that brings players into the game, as we saw the other night against LAFC. But if you get these players in and around goal, they've scored a boatload of goals. So the idea is, again, freshness to some degree for G tonight. We know Houston's a good team with the ball, so the ability to press and be able to try to win balls back a little bit quicker. Giassi has good understanding of it, and obviously the freshness helps as well. But they're all capable of scoring goals. We've rotated forwards throughout the season, so again, it comes more down to form. And I think G's probably been in better form the last couple months anyway.
Yeah, and then for the second straight match, you kind of had that back five going out of possession, at least to start the match. What do you like about that formation? Well,
we're flexible. I mean, Johnny can also go up and be a winger, and we can be in our normal 4-4-2, so it gives us the ability to have some flexibility. But a lot of these teams play. We just, Toronto's in a 3-2-2-3 when they have the ball. Houston's also in a 3-2-2-3, so you have to. It allows us to match them to some degree and find opportunities to build pressure. But Houston's a good team. They make it challenging with how they have it. They don't always get a ton of numbers up to finish attacks, but they can keep the ball. They make it challenging on you. So it's that's part of it. I think depending on what the opposition's doing, there is a level of flexibility, which is what I like about having Johnny. He can be a winger, and we're in our normal defensive structure, or he can sag down and become a back five. So.
You had both Danny and Diego on yellow card warning tonight. Did that play into
No.
When you decided to bring them in?
No.
Does that determine how you're looking at tactically deploying them the next few games?
No, not at all. Yellow cards? No, nothing.
In terms of something that you said recently about if you'd had these players the whole season, things wouldn't be in the situation they are. As was
accurate.
already discussed, that sort of the mathematical situation being what it is. How do you feel the players' mentality is going into these last 4 opportunities for points?
Yeah, I think again what they've shown all along. I think the whole season. I think they've been quite. They've been aware of it. They know how undermanned we were at the beginning of the season, and they knew that was going to bring stress. They had lots of questions as to why and what was going on as well. But you just gotta, you gotta get ready to compete. And as we got more players, I think you saw the quality go up, competition go up, and in turn, the amount of offensive opportunities and the stress that we're causing in the attack now has gained a lot of momentum. And it doesn't take away that we have to still score goals. I mean, again, you can have all these things and you can arrive there, but you still have to score. But I do think it would have put us in a much better space. But it is what it is. We had to. We knew where the roster was. Rodolfo made it really clear, and we needed to keep some space open so we could bring guys in the summer. And again, you've seen what Mikel and Buka have been able to do. Zvati did a great job the other night in LA, and they'll only get better in time. But it made it very, very challenging. But that's some of the adversity that we had to face, and it is what it is. And we arrived at where we thought we'd be. We talked about being just making the playoffs was a goal and an objective. And given where the roster was, I think that's why Rodolfo stressed it. We knew it was going to be a big challenge, but we got to keep pushing, and the mathematics are still there. So we got to go out and win our next game, which is a home game.
What are the conversations with Anthony and Rodo?
Those are their conversations. I don't know.
Okay.
They have those.
They don't. Okay. No, I mean with you, do they just on anything over the last month or whatever?
No, I don't really discuss a whole lot with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So just kind of curious about Driussi. I mean, he went down about 10th minute, struggling with injury. Just kind of wondering about that. And again, this is another game where he hasn't scored a goal. I think it's 12 league matches now where he hasn't.
He took a knock. It was more around his knee, I think, and I don't think it. It may have caused him a little bit of inflammation as the game went on. But again, I think he was in good spots to score. I think he almost has a redirect. He has the header that I think Alex is trying the bicycle on. So, again, I think his energy and the intent and helping us bring attacks to life and arrive in good situations, he's a big catalyst for all of that. And, there's multiple opportunities, not just for Seba, but for everybody. And, we don't put all the burden on Seba. He does a lot of good things. And I know he would want more goals, of course, but, it's also part of the requirements of being, the most talented on our team and the most recognized. He carries that, and it's part of his responsibility. So I'm sure he's a little bummed by the amount of goals or lack thereof this year.
Josh, do you find any difference when Driussi was playing with O'Brien and Diego Rubio than when he played with Bukhari?
I don't know. From an emotional standpoint, I guess I'd have to ask him. You guys could
No,
ask
I
him.
mean
don't know.
on the plays, passes and all that.
I don't know.
We follow him. Now, this is the third media conference in a row that I'm asking you about him. He just reposted few things you probably know about it. He reposted something that saying trade Drusy and fire Wolff. Anything that you want to say about that?
No.
No. So there is nothing with Sebastian Drusy and the coaching staff.
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
So Mackenzie Gaines. No, I'm kidding. That was I threatened to do that upstairs. You've seen the evolution of expectations because you've been here from the beginning on this team. You've been here as a player. What do you say to the team as you head into these last few weeks with what's on the line?
Yeah, I think unfortunately, it's not like we're doing a lot of things poorly other than the finishing. Defending has been quite solid. We don't give up, we shots and stuff, but expected goals, again, we have a way that we go about it. And if you score goals, it gives you energy, it gives you momentum, it gives you belief. So I go to Leagues Cup and maybe even the games before Leagues Cup, right as we got these guys, but, the way that we're playing is quite good. With the ball, quite solid, and we have a level of flexibility because we have a little bit more quality in the group, more competition. Thus, the performances have picked up. But I can sit here and tell them to be more ruthless, be more shrewd in front of goal, be more clinical. But those are just words. I mean, when the moment arrives for these players, it's about staying calm. It's about having clarity as to what you're trying to do. Balls go in off of players all the time. A little bit of luck doesn't hurt, but I'm not hanging our hat on luck. It's the way that we play and the way that we've competed now in the last 6-7 games easily. We should have more points. We haven't done enough in front of goal. I mean, it's a big letdown. This game, again, you can defend and the guys do, but in order to win games, we got to score goals. And it's it gets old. It gets old for you guys. It certainly gets old for me as well. But we got to keep moving forward. And is it a big time striker? Is that going to make the difference? Some of these chances are still going to fall to the other players. They still have to take those opportunities. And when you get one, it gains momentum. We haven't done ourselves any favors. We haven't gotten the first goal or the second goal to some degree. I mean, you saw it against LAFC. Like you're up 1-0, you have opportunities to knock them out, and those things can come back. And even as it was 1-1, you have opportunities. Toronto, it's the same. I mean, we're talking about breakaways. We're talking about balls across the front of the six, and just as we had tonight. But you have to capitalize on these opportunities.
We've asked you pretty frequently about what you think about the mentality, the focus of the players, and so on.
Yeah.
Considering all the different factors of where things stand now, can you give us some insight as to what's going on for you? How is your work-life balance? Where are you mentally? How do you feel about what you're going through now?
Work-life balance doesn't exist. So we just keep doing what we do. It's a grind. It's got great rewards. For me as a coach, I get the most joy out of coaching when I see our guys perform and, seize these opportunities and bring joy and energy to Q2 and to our fans, whether they're home or away. And, we continue to work in the same ways that we have always. We know we can help develop players. We know we can produce great ideas and bring it forward in a game. As we're all in the same space, it's still about winning games. I mean, this game, in order to do this at a high level and have long-term and sustained success, you have to find ways to win games. I think we've shown that we're capable of doing that. And again, it's what you've seen in the last 6 or 7 games is it's you can be right on the cusp, and it's the margins are so thin for winning and losing. And if you don't do the business when it's right there in front of you, it makes it more challenging, and you have these conversations like we've been having the last 4 or 5 games.
How do you keep yourself accountable to yourself? How do you self-criticize in a productive way? What do you tell yourself, you need to come back in the office and do after a game like this with the result that you had?
This is what I do. This is what I love to do. I love being around the players. I love the people that I work with, the organization. It's a great opportunity. It's a great responsibility. There is a journey in life. And as a player, you have your own space. And as a coach, again, it's, these moments are helpful. Again, it's everything we do in the sport is enriching. And, even from year 1 to year 2, you can feel the growth and, where you challenge yourself as a coach, as a human being, how you can continue to reach players, and find new ways to reach players, but how we can teach and evolve our own game model, teach and evolve as humans. I mean, all of that goes into this. And I'm 4 years into that, 3.5, almost 4 years into it. And it's scratching the surface. It's a need and an opportunity to continue to get better. As a player, it was the same way. Until I walk away from the game, I'll always believe that. You have to want to improve, you have to show improvement, and you have to bring along others with you along the way.
Josh, and continuing with the same question, at the end of the season, if you don't reach what the goal, do you have in mind, or you ever thought in resigning?
No.
Regardless of the results?
No.
Okay. Now, the thing you said, we had opportunities with LAFC. We had a lot of opportunities with LAFC. But today, O'Brien was on the bench, and you switch the formation. So what is the purpose of having a lot of opportunities if the next game is going to be different formation?
Again, each opponent has a way they play. So we created a boatload of opportunities against LA. This opponent has a different structure. We created a boatload of opportunities today. Against Toronto, they had a different structure. We had a few things that we did. We created a boatload there. So again, it's, we want to find ways to exploit the opposition's vulnerabilities. We did that in all 3 games. We didn't score enough goals. We actually maintained pretty good expected goals against, 2 games away and a game at home. So I think tactically the guys executed and showed great flexibility, as we have all season. So it's, at the end of the day, you got to score goals. I mean, we missed too many opportunities, and I think the guys work extremely hard. The starters, we've had rotation this week based on 3 games, 2 away and 1 at home. So the guys performed admirably. We let ourselves down in front of goal.
Any further questions? All right, we'll wrap it there. Thanks, everybody.